And before we introduce to you our final speaker for the day, I'd like to request and remind all our audience members that it's your feedback that helps us put together successful summits like these. So may I please request all of you to fill up the feedback form. It really does tell us what you think about the various sessions that we've put in. I'd also like to request you to continue tweeting and sharing your thoughts with us. Please remember there is gift vouchers for the best tweets. As we get set for our next and final session for the day on a special address, the metamorphosis of the workplace culture, leading and sustaining a culture transform, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Ms. Jayant Kumar, Joint President, HR, Adani Group.
Hi, good evening. Thanks to Sapphire team for giving this opportunity to interact with all the delegates. These conversations are very important. It helps us develop our own views and also consolidate some of these views on these areas. This entire day was full of all the different aspects of managing people and organization. And in this session, we are going to talk about culture, its transformation, why it is important. So considering that we have 15 minutes available, I'll touch upon some of the aspects of culture, how it plays out in our day-to-day life. And I also plan to share a few things about what the HR community can do together with other managers and the leadership to shape the culture and give it life in our day-to-day behavior, day-to-day impact. So the 2-3 things that I plan to share with all of you is that leadership and culture, these 2 things are the most researched topics in management literature. If you scan all the literature of research in last 50-60 years, then these 2 areas are the most researched. And still we have not reached anywhere near the end. The quest still continues. One of the reasons why it is so much of attraction of the researcher community and practicing managers and teachers and everyone alike is its impact. Both leadership and culture have huge impact on the organization, in its success, in its longevity, everything. And hence we try to continuously find out different aspects and dimensions of this. And hence in that quest, we have been able to find something so far, and there is a lot to discover yet. I will also try to save a few minutes for a few questions that if we can interact on chat box. First and foremost thing that I want to discuss about culture is the impact of leadership. Leadership sets the agenda, it sets the priorities in the organization, and hence leadership has the highest level of influence and impact on the culture of the organization. Multiple reasons exist why leadership is so precious and why it is able to exert such impact. One is certainly because it sets the agenda. Let's say if it gives primacy to culture, then it becomes high on the agenda of other people, other managers, other employees also in the organization, and the vice versa is also true. Similarly, the impact of the processes, whether it is an operational process, commercial process, or people management process, or any other process, that shapes the work culture on day-to-day basis. That leads to shaping of culture or changing of culture or bringing stability into the culture. And hence, since the leadership, collective leadership, finally gives shape to those processes, approves these processes, collective leadership also influences the overall cultural nuances in the organization. So the imperative of this is that leadership needs to have clarity as to what kind of culture it wants to make, what kind of culture it wants to promote, what kind of culture it wants to grow in the organization, and it has to use all the means and resources that it has on its command to shape that in the organization. Now, the changes which are happening in the external world, whether by way of disruption or by way of organic growth or by way of any other economic variable or social variable, there needs to be a particular, very, very clear-cut kind of a process, well-designed, well-thought-out process for scanning of those changes which are happening in the outside world, and how do you moderate, how do you steer your own internal systems, processes, and mindset of the people, so that the internal culture is not in dissonance with the external variables and external changes which are taking place. Hence, one point that I want to put before all of you as a matter of consideration is the impact of leadership. The position in which leadership sits in the organization gives it immense power to influence and shape culture of the organization, and leadership must use that position so that our cultural nuances as it play out in day-to-day behavior, day-to-day results are in consonance with the organization's objectives. As an example, let me give an example to make this point. Let's say collective leadership desires to have an organization where there is a culture of empowerment. Then the process linked to this desire of empowered culture is the decision-making rights, which needs to be given by way of delegation of authority. Now, delegation of authority cannot be given by the larger set of employees. It has to be designed and implemented by the leadership. So a clear-cut causal relationship between what we want to achieve and what we need to do so that we are able to achieve that purpose, that is important. And hence, sole responsibility in setting the initial thrust and initial enabling architecture rests with the leadership, and leadership must pursue that agenda by way of putting in those things. Culture in these kind of times, extremely competitive, turbulent times, is not a static concept. It might have been so maybe several decades back, but with the pace of change which is happening around us, it has become a very dynamic kind of a concept. And some of the nuances, some of the dimensions of culture which was very useful for the organization maybe a few years back may not be that useful today. And hence, a very clear-cut understanding of that and moderating that towards change is very, very important for success and longevity of the organization. So first point that I'm sharing with you is the importance of leadership, the clarity with which it pursues that agenda, and the commitment that it shows towards building a desired work culture in the organization. Second thing is, it doesn't thrive. Second factor that I want to put before you is the culture does not thrive in isolation. It does not exist for its own purpose, in its own right. Every organization is built and it exists to serve a purpose of the community, of the society. So the culture of the organization, if it has a very direct causal link with the purpose of the organization, then it brings life to culture. Then all the efforts, strive of all the employees, all the stakeholders, managers, leaders, everything is aligned towards the common purpose for which the organization exists, and the culture becomes the bedrock or one of the building blocks for success of the organization. And hence the proposition is that before deciding anything, whether existing culture or a change in the course of existing culture or consolidating the culture which is prevailing in the organization, any aspect of the culture, when we talk, when we want to touch upon, when we want to design a program or run a program, we need to be absolutely clear that why we want to do that. How is it going to help us, and how is it going to serve my overall larger purpose of the organization? The clarity with which we will be able to establish these causal linkages will certainly be very meaningful. It will lead us to the achievement of the objectives of the organization. If those linkages are not there, because Sometimes, erroneously, for various reasons, people advocate nice to have kind of dimensions of culture, or something which is in currency or in fashion today, and everyone is having it, and we should also have it. Selecting those dimensions of culture and having that as the desired culture actually does not serve much of purpose. It runs for some time and then gets faded away. And again, the problem which is existing, that continues. So my suggestion is that in case we talk about running any culture program, culture related program, or any change in the existing culture, we must think through very deep, identify those aspects of culture which helps in achieving the purpose of the organization, even if it is related to, suppose we want to run a program of culture which helps us in driving engagement of workforce, then how the engagement of workforce is going to help us in directly achieving the objective of the organization. That kind of causal linkage is not required from design perspective, but also from ensuring the commitment of people, because culture is not limited to leadership. Leadership sets the agenda, but culture is lived by every member of the organization. And if it is so, then it is important that people who are participating into that journey, all of them have shared understanding. Everyone understands these causal linkages. Also have the commitment. The commitment comes from understanding of the why. And that brings me to the third aspect that I have planned to touch upon, is the change program. Any change that we want to run must be a well-designed program where three things. First, the why part. Why are we doing it? What are we going to do, and how we are going to do? That these three things must be reached at the granular level, communicated widely. The commitment of the larger workforce needs to be obtained, and then those things need to be executed in a sequential or in a project manner. Then over a period of time, whenever this project ends, the whole program or the change that we want to bring in the organization achieve its purpose. And if we go into a random manner in a very exploratory mode, saying that, okay, let's start this program and let's see how it is happening, then we may reach there and we may not reach there, and which brings a lot of uncertainty. There are various characters, because participants into this journey are live human beings, and everyone has its own views, its own preferences, own choices, and at different stage they may actually bringing their own biases, their own thought processes, particularly if they are influential people. And hence, well thought out program in advance, it really helps drive the entire journey into a desired direction. These were the three things that I thought I'll put across as an opening remark. First is our impact of leadership, importance of leadership, influence of leadership on shaping the culture, changing the culture, running a transformation program or a change program. Second is culture program or culture intervention must be linked to overall the purpose of the organization, achievement of its objectives, and success and longevity of the organization. And third is it must be run like a full-scale change program, the way we do in any other aspect of managing the organization. Now, very quickly, I want to bring certain practical aspects of what the HR community or those managers who are engaged into running day-to-day affairs of the organization, what kind of contribution they can make, even if they're not part of leadership, how they can influence and how they can contribute into evolution of culture in the organization. So I have very firm belief that HR community, while selecting people and bringing new members in the organization, plays a critical role. If we are careful, if we really understand the culture of our organization very clearly as to what we stand for and why it is important for us to have these elements of culture in the organization, then every new person who is coming, we need to be very sure that he will be able to or she will be able to fit into the culture and enhance the cultural elements which are essential for success of the organization and will not become an impediment. As an example, let's say we have a culture, let's say apolitical culture. Our work culture is apolitical. In a particular organization, it's an apolitical work culture. And it is very crucial for success of organization. It has been well discussed, designed, and put into place, and it is being practiced also largely by all the members of the people organization. Then, in case at an influencing level, 1 or 2 or 3 people come who are not practicing being apolitical in their day-to-day work, then you will experience that over a period of time, the entire workplace, which has their area of influence, gets impacted adversely. So the whole well thought out program, which had taken so much of effort to develop a culture of being apolitical, takes a reverse journey. I picked up being apolitical as an example. Similarly, you can pick up any other thing. For example, if there is a culture prevailing of high strive in an organization or high speed of execution, and while bringing a person, because of the pressures of recruitment, we bring a person whose speed of execution is low, the person is really not there, then it will become very difficult for that person. It will become very difficult for the organization also. The second thing where HR community can really influence is preparing the people managers in understanding and practicing the organizational culture nuances in their day-to-day behavior with the people around them. We may be having a fantastic program, we may be having excellent policies, systems, processes, everything, but the rubber hits the road at that last mile, when people experience the influence of culture when they interact with their managers. And hence, commitment of manager, their understanding, their commitment, and their practice on day-to-day basis is very, very important. And hence, in my view, HR function has great opportunity as well as a responsibility to understand the internal culture well. And in these two areas particularly, of course, there are opportunities in other areas also, but I picked up these two areas because there is a direct influence. One is selection of new members. Second is preparing the managers and building their commitment so that they finally bring up their own behavior in congruence with the organization's culture. These were the thoughts which I thought I'll put before you. If there are some questions, very happy to take that and interact.
Thank you so very much, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here to close. And I'd like to thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you.